In a perfectly generic building on an ordinary street somewhere in Los Angeles, Billy Idol is getting ready for a new U.S. tour. And at a fit 58, he still looks pretty much like the bad boy rocker you watched on MTV. In the 1980s, few stars burned brighter or hotter.
Hey little sister, who's your Superman? Hey little sister, who's the one you want? Hey little sister, shotgun.
With that swagger and that hair, Billy Idol was practically made for TV.
You know, you have this trademark sneer, I guess is the best way to put it. Where did that come from? Is that just you? That?
I think it's just my attitude, you know. You had to have one hell of an attitude to get anywhere in the music business or the world we came from.
And with one of his videos running just about every hour, he quickly became a megastar on MTV and beyond.
When you say Billy Idol music, what is that?
It's taking the best of punk rock, the best of rock and roll. So you've taken the best of everything and somehow cross-pollinating it, letting it have a bastard child, really. And the bastard child is my music.
There's a change of pace, of fantasy and taste.
And a highly successful child. Throughout his career, he's had 16 songs in the top 40. Of course, not all of them were original Billy Idol tunes. He didn't write the wildly popular hit Mony Mony. But then again, Billy Idol isn't even his real name. William Michael Albert Broad was born in England. Dad was a power tool salesman, Mom a former surgical nurse. Billy Idol's childhood looked pretty much like anyone else's. He went to church with his parents, suited up for snow days, fell in step with the Cub Scouts. But as a teen, he was obsessed with music. And when he announced that he was quitting college to join a rock band, his parents hit the roof.
They wanted security for you.
Yeah.
But you wanted punk rock.
Yeah, we wanted to dream, wanted to have fun, wanted something more glamorous than my dad's power tool business that he wanted me to join him in. And he was a great salesman, fantastic actually. But I always thought to myself, the only weakness he's got is he's selling a product that's not himself. I'm still a bit of the salesman he is, really, but I managed to work out I could make my own product, and there's a power in that.
Young Billy Broad followed his instincts and his heart, and in the mid-70s helped form the successful punk band Generation X. Inspired by a teacher who once labeled him IDLE, he changed his last name to IDOL. Before long, the new name would fit him perfectly. By the 1980s, he was on his own, racking up the hits and the excesses of stardom. His womanizing is the stuff of legend.
And you had one steady relationship, at least, through all of this.
Yes, I did, yes.
But it was hard to stay faithful. You couldn't stay faithful?
Almost, well, you couldn't. It's impossible. I mean, especially on a 10-month tour, on a bus, going from nowhere, from place to Denny's, Carl's Jr., Denny's, McDonald's, Carl's Jr., Denny's, truck stop. You wanted something to break up that monotony, and the only way to do it was a piece of human flesh.
He had other appetites as well. When he lived here in New York, his neighborhood in the East Village was, at times, an open-air drug market.
Washington Square Park, right?
There's a little story about Washington Square Park, yes, Billy?
Yes, I did have some moments in Washington Square. I used to walk through here, and the drug dealers who used to be through here used to call their drugs by, they saw me coming, they'd say, it's Rebel Yell heroin, it's white wedding crack. It's dancing with myself, marijuana or something. But I actually did get caught here on a police sting when I was a bit addicted to crack for a while, to coke.
If I should stumble, catch my fall, yeah.
And stumble he did. He nearly lost a leg in a motorcycle wreck in 1990. And in 1994, Idol OD'd outside an LA nightclub. By then, he was the father of 2 children, so he cleaned up his act. Or tried, anyway.
So are you sober now?
I'm not sober. I mean, I don't. I have to sort of say to myself, you know, you can do everything, man, but I'm not doing it. You know, it's sort of a bit of a.
So how does that work for you?
I don't know, really. It shouldn't work, really. But it's just if I say to myself, I'm never doing anything again, I'll immediately go and do it. That's what I'm like. So I have to sort of say to myself, no, man, you can do whatever you want. But there's a side of me saying, but we're not going to. I like smoking pot. I still smoke tons of pot. So.
How about coke?
I don't do coke or any heroin or anything like that anymore.
Drinking?
A little tiny bit. I drink a little bit. I like to drink with a meal at a restaurant, you know, but nothing else. I try not to. I want to be here enjoying today. I don't want to be brain dead. And that can happen too, so.
These days, he still has the swagger and trademark sneer, and something his fans might not have seen before: gratitude.
Life is sweet. Why? Because I've got an audience, and the audience enjoys what I do, and they tell me. And I have to say back to them, thank you for making my life so really great.
The man who defied his parents 40 years ago is still a rebel at heart, but they've long since made their peace. And before Bill Broad Sr. passed away in August, his son Billy went home to say goodbye.
My dad was very much in the last stages of cancer and was having trouble getting up the stairs or even doing simple things like putting his pajamas on or brushing his teeth. You'd have to help him with all of that because he was getting so weak. And one night I put him to bed and he got quite emotional and he sort of said to me, you know, Billy, did I upset you that I didn't really understand about you choosing music as a career? And, you know, I thought about that for a couple of seconds and I turned to him and I said, Dad, I was crazy to do it. And I was crazy to do it.
But for Billy Idol, crazy seems to work.